Have you ever wondered if love is strong enough to change someone's true nature? We often think that if we are kind enough or if we care for someone from the time they are small, they will never hurt us. But sometimes nature has its own rules that we just can't break. Today, I want to tell you a story about a man who tried to do the impossible. He tried to tame the wild. It's a story that starts with a kind heart, but ends in a way that no one expected. If you've ever felt like you could change the world with just a bit of kindness, you need to hear this. A long time ago, in a tiny village right by the edge of the sea, there lived an old fisherman named Mr. John. Now, Mr. John was a good man. Every single morning, before the sun even peeked over the water, he'd be out there with his net. He wasn't greedy, he just caught enough to eat and a little bit more to sell so he could buy things like tea and clothes. But Mr. John was lonely. He lived in a small wooden house on the edge of the forest, and since he didn't have any family, the only sound he usually heard at night was the wind in the trees and the waves on the sand. You could see the loneliness in his eyes. One afternoon, Mr. John decided to walk to a village nearby to sell some fresh fish. He took a path that went deep through the green forest. As he was walking, he saw something strange. There was a man sitting on a fallen log by the side of the road, and right next to him was a tiny tiger cub. Mr. John stopped. He was curious. He asked the man, "Why are you sitting here in the middle of the woods with a baby tiger?" The man looked very tired and sad. He said, "I have no money and my children haven't eaten in 2 days. I found this cub, but I can't take care of it anymore. If you give me your basket of fish, you can take the cub." Mr. John looked at the little tiger. It looked so small and helpless. He thought to himself, maybe this is the friend I've been looking for. Maybe this little guy can keep me company. So he handed over his fish and carried the cub all the way home. When he got back to his village, people couldn't believe it. They gathered around and asked, "John, what are you doing with a tiger? It's a wild animal." Mr. John just smiled and told them, "I'm going to raise him. I'll be kind to him and he'll grow up to be my friend." But the older people in the village warned him. They told him, "Can you tame a wild animal?" They said that no matter how much you love a tiger, it is still a tiger. But Mr. John didn't listen. He built a big, strong cage on his porch so the cub would be safe, and every day he fed it the best fish he caught. As the weeks and months went by, the cub grew. It wasn't a little baby anymore. It turned into a huge, beautiful tiger with bright orange fur and strong muscles. Mr. John loved that tiger. He would talk to it like it was a person. He even started taking it for walks on a leash. Some people in the village thought he was brave, but most of them were just scared. They stayed far away. Mr. John felt like he had proven everyone wrong. He felt he had mastered the tiger's nature. He believed that because he fed the tiger and loved it, the tiger would never see him as food. One day, Mr. John had to go back to that same market in the next village. He made sure the tiger was in its cage, gave it some food, and started his long walk. The weather was nice, the market was busy, and he sold all his fish quickly. He even sat down to have a cup of coffee, feeling happy about his life. But on his way home, everything changed. Suddenly, there was a loud crashing sound. A massive landslide had come down from the mountain and completely blocked the road. There was no way to get across. Mr. John tried to find another path, but the mud was too deep. The village workers told him it would take days to clear the way. Mr. John was terrified, not for himself, but for his tiger. He knew the tiger was trapped in that cage with no one to feed it. He ended up stuck in that neighboring village for 5 long days. Every hour he worried. He imagined his friend getting hungry and weak. Finally, the road was cleared. Mr. John didn't walk home, he ran. He arrived at his house breathless and tired. He saw the tiger lying in the corner of the cage. It looked thin and very quiet. Mr. John's heart broke. He thought, "My poor friend is starving." He didn't even think about the danger. He just wanted to comfort the animal. He walked up to the cage, unlocked the door, and stepped inside with his arms open. But those 5 days of hunger had changed everything. The tiger wasn't looking at a friend, it was looking at meat. Its natural instincts had completely taken over. In one tragic moment, the tiger attacked. It didn't matter that Mr. John had raised it. It didn't matter that he had been kind for years. Hunger and nature were stronger than any bond they had. It's a sad ending, I know, but it teaches us something we should never forget. We have to respect the way the world works. Some things in life just cannot be changed, no matter how much we want them to. This story of Mr. John is a reminder that while kindness is a beautiful thing, we must also be wise. We have to accept the reality of the world around us. If you found this story meaningful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me bring more of these life lessons to you. As we wrap up, I hope you remember that understanding wild animal stories and the truth about taming a tiger is important. We must respect nature's instincts and realize that survival stories often have hard lessons. Whether we are talking about animal attacks or a true animal bond, we have to be careful in our forest adventures. These cautionary tales about village life stories and animal behavior show us that some things are just meant to be wild. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next story.